Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. In the last video we made our way through the dungeon of Tida, and in this video we're going to go ahead and we're going to take on the boss that lurks in the village of Tida. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be going up against. Alright, so this is Armstrong, who is a rather interesting kind of design for a boss. He's kind of like a house, kind of. I mean, he looks like a house to me. Like, he's kind of just like made up of old kind of parts of the village, I guess. And I'm paralyzed in place, which is very annoying. So again, just like with this whole entire dungeon, fire, 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 fire. This guy has only one resistance to fire, so fire spells are going to work wonderfully against him. If you have Holy, which it's kind of hard to make at this point in the game, you can also use Holy because he has no resistance to that either. Since I have better physical attack, my physical attacks work pretty well, but I would recommend Fire Rough or anything like that you've got. As for skills that this guy has, he has a number of them. I kind of call him like the status effect boss because any status effect you can have, he probably has and will try to put on you. You can see that he slowed me down. He has a slow ability. He's got poison ability. He's got a stop ability in later cycles. I don't think he has it in this cycle. And he's also got a few physical attacks. As you can see, he has like that cannon fire attack. Ooh, I didn't mean to press Cure, that was bad. He will go ahead and fire a cannon cannon towards you if you're too far away from him. If you're too close, he will try to use that slow gas on you, like he did to me just now. He'll poison you also if you're too far away from him. If you're too close, what he'll do is he'll spin around like that and try to hit you. So it's kind of difficult with this boss to know kind of your limits and keep a distance, because it doesn't really matter where you are, it seems. It seems like he's gonna hit you anyways. He also has that like pin missile, it's kind of what it looks like he'll try to hit you with, which I think is just a physical attack. I think he'll also kind of slam like his arm on the ground as well and try to hit you, so he has lots of abilities. He's also got his kind of like cronies here, which is very annoying, just because they do not help matters much. They just get in the way. Luckily, the skeletons can pretty much be defeated very, very easily. Overall, this boss isn't difficult. I wouldn't say he's really difficult, especially if you have fire spells. He's a piece of cake, but you just gotta watch out for status effects because he's got lots of them. Another thing I found is that he usually comes to you. You can see like he's walking towards me. I basically just held my fire spell in place and waited for him to come to me, because most of his attacks, he does have some long range ones, but most of them are close range, and so he wants to get close to you in order to attack you. So if you want to take the risk, you can pretty much just wait for him to come to you, and you'll be able to kind of cast a spell on him. So my magic ability isn't very high, but if you had a magic ability of like 20 or 25 or even 30, he would probably go down in 5 or 6 different hits with fire or Farigga, so yeah, definitely want to use fire on him. And in a matter of no time, he'll pretty much be defeated, so there we go. For some reason, which doesn't really make sense to me, they have a tree in this village, but their crystal ran out. I mean, I guess it makes sense because you can only get a drop every few years, but they would technically kind of have an everlasting supply. but unfortunately, Tida is no more. I always wonder what the village looked like in its former glory. But there we go. It's our second drop for the year. I always loved how you can see your character's reflection in it. They made this game very, I don't know, for a GameCube game that was put out, you know, quite a few years ago. I actually really like the artistic value of this game. And there we are. Let's get our mail. What do you have for us, Mr. Mail Moogle? Probably another letter from our family. Yeah, it's from our sister again. Our little sister loves to send us mail, doesn't she? You can see pretty much all of our mail has been from her so far. How are you? I'm fine. I helped Mommy today. Everyone else is fine. Please come home soon, okay? Wow, her English is really improved. I'm sure like my mom wrote it or something. Anywho, alright, I'm going to visit soon. Not for a long, long time. Jeez, that's mean. Alright, let's see if I have something I can send her. Probably not. Let's see. Because most of the stuff I want to use. Let's just send them a seed. Because it makes a good gift for your family, so. And I don't have any use for it, so. Let's go ahead and send that off. And then we can get cracking on the rest of the post stuff for this dungeon. What is our bonus condition today? Don't use focus attacks. I kinda, you know, was like half and half. 100 isn't too bad, but could have been much better. So let's get our bonus dungeon items here. So we've got strength +2, magic +1, defense +1. We can get into the command slot, which I'm almost tempted to get. Strength +1, defense +2, and magic +1. So it's really hard for me because I love having command slots because you can do a lot of good spell fusion, but I really need the magic. Although +1 isn't very good, so you know what? I'm gonna take the command slot this time around. Alright, so there's our second dungeon for the year. I'm going to quickly switch my element to Earth, because like I said, you'll want to have your element changed before moving on. Ooh, random event. What's happening this time? Oh, it's this guy. Hello there. I'm not even gonna know how to pronounce that. Hurt his leg, so I'm stranded here. Could you possibly spare a loaf of bannock? I need to soak it in medicine and apply it. If you can't, a bag of flour would work well too. Alright, that should be enough time for him. You're a mighty fine actor, Kupo. Alright, let's rendezvous with Gramps. Hey, you old geezer, how'd it go? Got some booty, Kupo? Kupo? Hey, I'm talking to you. Ah, right. There's no need to shout. I hear you just fine. While you two distract the sucker, I'll sneak up and make off with the loot. Yeah, that's right. So where's the loot? Huh? Don't play dumb. You're trying to keep it all for yourself? Uh-oh. What's wrong? How long was I asleep? I knew it! Those guys crack me up, and you will run into them later on as well. And they don't get any less hilarious. Anyway, that's just a random event that happens in the year. We can go back to the city if we want, but just before this video ends, I want to give you guys a choice. The logical thing for me to do would be to go to the Moschet Manor and do that as our third area for the year. However, because we have Earth and we can pass through this stream, I just very briefly want to show you guys another dungeon option that is going to be available to us in this year. I had completely forgotten that we could actually go to this dungeon starting in year 2, And then I thought, well, if we have 3 choices for dungeons, and we only really need 3 drops of mirror, and we've already got 2 of them, so one dungeon will end up getting the shaft. But I want you guys to help me out a little bit here. I'm just going to show you the dungeon, and then I'm going to just give you guys kind of my little plan that I had. Alright, so this little area that's kind of off to the side here, it's only got 2 places to go. This is the Veo Lu. So this is the dungeon for this area. This is the Veo Lu Sluice. And as you can see, we can get mirror from it. So it's a dungeon we can definitely go to, and there's also a city we can go to. However, we cannot go into it yet. This is Shella, and I'm just going to briefly go in here and show you guys why. This place probably has the best town music in the entire game. But anywho, I think we talked to this guy, maybe? Do you wish to cross? Yes, please. It appears you do not have a mark of Shella. I cannot let you pass. So this whole tribe is basically racist against anyone that's not a Uke. Unless you're a Uke, you are not able to get into this city. However, by going to the next dungeon, by going to that dungeon there, the sluice, we're able to get an item that will let us into the city. So more on that later. So my plan was basically to show off both of the dungeons, kind of do one but not save my game so I can go through after collecting my 3rd drop, and I can then do the 2nd dungeon as well, because if I did both of these dungeons I would end up with 4 drops, and you only need 3 drops to finish up a year. The sluice is kind of interesting because it changes, I think, from years 1 to 4 it's in one phase, and then from years 5 on it's in another phase, and I kind of want to show off the phases, but I wasn't sure how I was going to implement it. So what we could do is we could do both the Moschet Manor and Veo Lu Sluice, and I could just briefly show off both of those dungeons while they're available in year 3. And I might do that from now on, is I might actually show off every single dungeon that becomes available in a year, but kind of just not save my game once I finish a dungeon so that I'm able to collect all the drops of myrrh without moving on. I don't know how I'll explain that. I feel incredibly scattered with commentary today, but basically, let me know if you guys want to see both the Moschet Manor and the Sluice for this year, or if you want to wait until the Sluice is in a different stage, or wait until a different year and come back and do it, and just do the Manor, or vice versa. The reason that I was kind of surprised that the Sluice was available is because generally when you come to a stream, there's usually always one stream you can't pass through when you go to a new year, but in year 2 it seems like we can pretty much pass through every single stream that's available to us. So, yeah, again, I hope I explained that correctly, but basically what I can do is I can go and do Moschet Manor, and then I cannot save the game, so it doesn't bring me to year 3. I could go back and I could show off the sluice as well, so then we show off every single map that was available to us starting in year 2, and then people who are playing can then decide which dungeon they want to do more, basically. It's kind of what I was getting at. I think what I will do though is that I will start the next video off by doing the Manor, and then based on your guys' votes, you know, or what you want to see, we can go ahead and we can go to the sluice if that's what you guys want to see. And if not, we can do it in another year, no biggie. I do want to show it off twice though, because it does have phases, like I said. This is a very random event. I don't know why this popped up, but basically it's just a bunch of lilties chasing after a goblin. And you can see that the lilties balance their chalice on their head. I forgot to mention too that each tribe has a different way of holding the chalice. I think the lilties always bounced on their head, just because they're kind of like too short to hold it with their arms, which is really, really cute. So we're either going to start in the Manor the next video, or I'm going to start the video off by just quickly making some new equipment. I'm going to go check it out and see if there's anything that I can get, maybe upgrade before moving on to the next dungeon. Either way, we're pretty much almost done with year 2. We just have one more drop to collect, and then we can move on. So I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that you will be joining me in the next video.